What's going on, guys? Big Rod coming at you with the NFL Let's Watch Week 14 Thursday night football game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. Thanks for joining. The Fat Guy and I, as always, Fat Guy should be here, joining us fairly shortly. And I'm just going to pull up the market and see if there's any market opportunities for this game. Okay. Good evening, Mud. How you doing tonight? What kind of props or sides or totals are you on today? Very interesting. So, despite this being a fishy line for Fat Guy and I, it's saying here that the Steelers only have 19% of the money on the spread and 16% of the money on the money line. I'm very interested in this one. Hey, Jackson. What's going on, Josh Allen? I'm doing well, Mud. Hopefully you're doing well, too. No bets for me, but should be 5-star entertainment, says Jackson. Mud is on the Vikings, minus 3.5, and the over. First touchdown, Jefferson and Johnson. Cousins over 33 passing attempts. Jefferson over a 92.5 yards receiving. Nice. So you're hoping for a high-scoring affair. 61% of bets on the over, which is pretty much the standard. And then 55% of the money on the under, which is, I want to say that's not standard, but I could be wrong. Yeah, usually the money is about 50-50, so slightly more money on the under. I'm contemplating Pittsburgh against the spread, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. I might just leave this one alone. There's the percentage of bets on spread and money line both say Pittsburgh, but the percentage of money is saying it's a no play. So I think because the percentage of money is telling me no play, I think I might just leave this game alone. And then the OU, it opened 45, stayed at 45. It is saying to take the under on this game at 45, but the percentage of bets, it's only slightly on the under, and then the percentage of money is saying definitely take the under, but I don't know if it's enough for me to do that. I just find this line funny. I find 3.5 for the Vikings to just be an interesting line. And here we go. We got the Fat Guy joining us. What's going on, Fat Guy?
Oh, hello.
How are you doing tonight?
Okay.
Do you have any interest in this game?
I do. I have Minnesota across the board.
Oh, nice.
It's who I would have bet on traditionally in the old days, so that works out. It's hard for me to bet when I get great pricing.
Yeah.
Like I would have bet on this game, but
And who would have you taken?
Minnesota.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to bet this game. A lot of the market stuff is pointing towards Pittsburgh in the under, but Mud's with you there. He's on the Vikings at minus 3.5. He's also on the over and a few props as well. Seahawks fan, Jackson said, by the way, I've missed a few streams, but I like the hair. Thank you very much, Jackson. That's nice to say. Seahawks fan said I was
You
at the
should pull
dentist
on it.
yesterday. Yeah, my ears. The
You know what you're doing.
Seahawks fan said I was at the dentist yesterday. I told her she was the greatest man that lived, and she was honored.
Man, the hyperbole out of that. I said I would be interested in talking to a dentist at a party, and look how far we can just extrapolate this.
That's
You know, it's
pretty
like
good,
that
huh?
time Norm accused Bill Clinton of being a murderer. It's good. A
Yeah,
point of public
it's the
record.
exact same, fat guy. Yeah, those two things wildly correlated for some reason.
Correct.
Oh, I should post what the market is saying in the Discord. Jackson can't wait to see his dentist next month. It's going to be a lot of talking points. It'll be interesting when you invite them to a party later that weekend.
I see mine on the 17th.
Nice.
I have to get my wisdom teeth taken out again. Want to hear the craziest thing? I had my wisdom teeth taken out when I was 18. There's a hidden wisdom tooth in both of them, like on top, behind, and one of them poked out, and I didn't even know about it. So it's like it would be hard to brush when I didn't even know it's there. So I gotta get that one removed. The other one's hidden.
You know what's interesting is it explains why you're so wise.
Yes, yeah, good one.
I just realized that I don't think your audio's coming through. Can you give me a test or something like that?
Test.
Oh no, you
Test.
are coming through. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. 5:08, so we still have like 12 minutes to kick off. A lot of time to burn, as they like to say in the biz.
What?
I don't know.
What biz? What? Oh man, I have like a mangiest beard. I just got out of the shower though. It's great.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Well, they put you under for no, I always refuse it. So like I don't mind staying awake for it. So like last time I specifically asked not to, and they said okay, and then I ended up feeling part of it, and it really, really, really hurt. But like, I would do it again. So because they misfroze one of them, one side of it. So yeah, I don't like anesthesia. I don't do well with like painkillers and stuff like that. Like I don't know. I never take them. It's just not my thing. Not that my body's a temple. Let's be honest here. I am called the fat guy.
Fear said, "Let's get this money." Hopefully, Cook got some HGH before kickoff and is ready to big dog it. Did you end up deciding if you were going to start him?
I thought he was out.
You should be able to put your picks in. Let me just double check. I'll try to post the link to the picks for you.
Yeah, it's weird, Jackson. I could drink like a 40-pounder and like a 40-ounce bottle of vodka in a night real easy. But like I take painkillers and I'm like dead to the world. I don't know why. So even like when I got T3s for my last knee surgery, I just gave them away, which that was probably a very reckless thing at the time. Now that I think about it, but
there's the link, Wook. Hopefully, you can keep the strong pick percentage going. You've been incredible this year.
yeah, I like it. I like when these guys do well.
Fat guy's just built differently. Must be that Greek god blood. And Seahawks
I
fan
don't
thinks
know.
Zimmer's on the hot seat after this season.
He might be right. I don't think that's not unreasonable. Like mediocrity, like
Hey, Mickey.
what's the cliche? Breeds contempt. Oh, I think it's from a Boy George song, actually. Oh shoot. I gotta restart my computer, Big Rye.
Yeah, no
I have like
worries.
yeah, I'll be like 2 minutes.
Okay.
That was dumb. I have a shut off timer and I accidentally clicked it earlier today.
Oh no. So Dalvin Cook is playing here, or he's active. So hopefully he gets some work tonight. Sports guy isn't convinced by the Cousins Zimmer combo. That's very important to know. How you doing tonight, Mickey? Any plays tonight for this NFL game? Just taking another look, seeing if any of the betting market information has changed for this game, but doesn't look like too much has changed. So it's gonna be a no play for me tonight. Oh, Mickey almost forgot the contest. It's gonna be you got 8 minutes at least to get that Thursday night game in. The contest line for this game, I believe, is 3.5. A fat guy chooses the name of the week most of the time. Unfortunately, Mickey, you can't do Thursday only because that'll. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sorry. You got a little time though. Usually, if it's like 5-6 minutes after kickoff, I'm fine with it, like the Thursday game. But I just don't like when someone like makes it like if the Vikings go up 28-0 and then someone picks the Vikings. I can't let that fly. Oh, Mickey's gonna take the 50-50 here for possible more than 50% return for the other 14 games or 13 games. I'll let Seahawks. I'll read that one after when Fat Guy gets back. Doc D said, "What side is everyone jumping on tonight?" I don't have any plays. A couple people are on Vikings 3.5. I think Fat Guy is on the Vikings as well. A lot of as far as the betting market goes, there's a lot of percentage of money that came in on the Vikings, both against the spread and on the money line, which I find very interesting because I thought this line was. I just found this line to be bizarre. I don't think 3.5 is the right price, but that makes me think there's something going on with the Vikings. And considering how much money came on the Vikings, like it's very, very peculiar. The OU Like I would lean towards the under just because of the market money percentages, but otherwise I don't think there's a ton of positive expected value, at least using the market. Fat Guy said he just needed to restart his computer, so he should be back in a few minutes. And I should pull up the game. Docs D says 28-24 Steelers, so good opportunity there on
needing to win in
line.
prime time.
So just gotta mute that. I think that's over, right? That's got to be over 45, because that's what, 52. Vok Teacher just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing, Vok Teacher. Appreciate the subscription. Hopefully we can provide you some informative content. That's how it works, Mickey, right? Like it's essentially a coin flip anyways. Like the opportunity that you can get, maybe some closing, you can get closing line value, but it's still so tough. The contest is very, very difficult. Moments away from kickoff. I see that the juice on the Steelers, if you did want to take them at 3.5, is -118 at Pinnacle. So this game's pretty much like a 3. It's really teetering on that 3.5, just with bad juice on, obviously the whatever side you prefer. Mickey's on Steelers +4.5, so that's a nice line to have in this game. We got Aikman and Buck tonight, Thursday night. You got it at Steelers +4.5 at -110. Oh my goodness. What a line. That's unreal. So we're hoping for a Vikings win by 4. I believe is probably the best outcome for the collective. For the collective. Yeah, I'm just like I don't know why I'm so confused. Is it because people just hate the Steelers offensively? Like, is that why this line is how it is? Like, they just came off an impressive win against the Ravens. The Vikings lost to the Detroit Lions, but I don't know, because it's a short week, because this game's in Minnesota. Like, Minnesota doesn't have, well, they technically got Dalvin Cook back. I don't know. It just, I find this line very strange. And it's like, I'm talking about how strange it is, and like, I'd be fine with like Vikings minus 2.5, and like 2.5 to 3.5 is the biggest jump, but it's still not that much of a difference. Like, the Vikings home field advantage is overblown. Yeah. Well, even just home field advantage in general is, you know, even 1 point right now feels almost generous for a lot of places. I also just feel like this is such a weird matchup, like Steelers Vikings on a Thursday night game. Like, I know not all these Thursday games are magical, but I feel like this one especially is just a weird matchup. All right. The betting lines are down. I'm going to take a look too. Like, this is one of those ones where you could, it almost feels like the like you can get a better line live right after. All right, Vikings start with the ball. Like, even record-wise, the Vikings 5-7, Steelers 6-5-1. I don't know, it just feels so strange. Maybe like Roethlisberger's arm is just done. I saw a quote this week, and he was just saying, like, I've thrown the ball a million times. Like, it's just bound to wear down. And what's interesting too is like Brady was talking about the TB12, like his stuff, and on he was on I don't know what the name of the podcast is, but it's like a video podcast with Barkley and Ernie Johnson. And essentially he was just saying like he spends a lot of his time like stretching out and working out all the muscles to make it easier for him to stay healthy and be able to be as successful as he is. Man, you never see that. It took 3 teammates to help that offensive lineman put his shoe on. Udo. All right, 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Nice first few plays for them. Dalvin Cook looking good. Nice early run from him. I don't know what his injury was again. It's some sort of shoulder injury. It sounds bad, though. Like, it sounds like something you can't play through, and he's here playing, so kudos to Dalvin Cook. Have a good night, Jackson. Big line pop on this Viking start. Yeah. They haven't been posting any of the live betting data at the start of this on Pinnacle at least, but I've got my eye on it. But this is... The Vikings have looked really good to start this game. Wow, almost a terrific catch from Justin Jefferson. Yeah, separated shoulder. Like, I don't know a lot about separated shoulders, but that just feels like a tough one to play through. Cousins really dropped that in like a dime, but it just not able to come up with that. That's such a hard one-handed catch to make. Ooh, delay a game. Not a good penalty to take. Such a tough one-handed catch, but like it was still a pretty good throw. Like it was a safe throw from Cousins, even though it was an aggressive throw, but like where that ball was placed was really, really nice. We got a corner blitz here from the Steelers. Vikings able to get that ball out nice and quickly, which was good. It's going to be just short. I'm actually interested to see the decision the Vikings make here. I don't know exactly how far out they are. Oh, it's 4th and 3. I thought it was like 1.5, but I don't know how far this field goal is. Well, it's going to be from 53 yards. Greg Joseph has a long of 55. And that's wide left. That the layup game penalty really killed that drive for the Vikings, which otherwise was quite stellar. Fat guy is having some technical difficulties. I think it was worse than he originally thought, so he's doing his best to get back. Live line is Vikings minus 2.5. OU's at 43.5. Yeah, he said he thinks it might be like a hard drive issue, so hopefully things turn around for him. So the market for this game finished 46% of bets on the Steelers against the spread, 24% of the money on the Steelers against the spread, 61% of the money on the over, 61% of bets on the over, 44% of the money on the over, 52% of money line bets on the Steelers, 19% of the money line money on the Steelers, 57,436 bets total for this game. Yeah, Fat Guy said he's trying everything he can to get back up. Early completion here to Ray McLeod on the slant for the Steelers, who after that long missed field goal start with decent field position. Really nice catch. That was not an easy catch to make. Good coverage. I don't know if that was Kendricks there. Steelers look like they're going to run the ball in this next play. Deontay Johnson in motion. Harris makes the most of that. It's going to be, it looks like just short. So we're going to get 3rd and 1. Big Ben only 6 interceptions this season, but only 16 touchdowns as well. Harris picks up that first down. That should be a taunting call on Claypool. That was a dumb thing to do. I don't know how you can argue differently than that. Fat Guy said he's having to reinstall Windows, so it's going to be a bit of time for him to get back on. Just a dumb thing for Claypool to do. And that really hurts the Steelers, which after their strong start to this drive. Oh man, even with pressure on Roethlisberger there, he almost makes the completion. I'm surprised that that they didn't call a horse collar tackle there. McLeod already made the one super nice catch in similar fashion a few plays ago. Couldn't come up with that one. Very fringe field goal range here for Pittsburgh. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for this. At the very least, like, you try to draw them offside, and if you don't, you punt the ball. But punting from the 39 is tough. They should be able to do this pretty easily. They're going to be able to hit like some sort of slant up. But also, you can tell by how the slot receivers lined up, they didn't have a play called quite yet. They do snap the ball. Roethlisberger is going to run for this. What a play. There's a flag on the play, though. What an exciting start to this game. I watched the mic'd up NFL YouTube video today for last week, and the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game. Harbaugh decided they were going to go for two before they even scored the touchdown. So, like, they knew, or he knew at least, what his decision was going to be if they scored, which I found interesting. Like, you kind of want to be making those decisions before you actually get to the point, and he did it the right way. Nice run defense there from the Vikings on Benny Snell. Oh. Roethlisberger landed on his elbow funny. There's a fumble there. I'm not sure who fell on it. Roethlisberger managed to get it back, but they do get the sack there. Mickey calling for the screen coming out of this TV timeout. Pittsburgh fortunate to fall on that. Like we always talk about fumble luck. Challenge. Did the Steelers challenge that play? Like, are they challenging that it was incomplete and not a fumble? What a bizarre, feels like kind of a waste. Like, it's interesting to know, like, do you think they wanted to challenge, or do you think it's They maybe just wanted the timeout to talk about what they're going to do on this next play. You can hear that pup. Yeah, my puppy's my puppy's got separation anxiety, and he's upstairs barking because my wife went to pick up our dinner, and I'm streaming, but not much we can do. But he's being good. I'm watching him right now. He just freaks himself out. 3rd and 18. They obviously kept that as a sack, I'm guessing. So they kind of run something like a screen, but they didn't really have any blocking on this play. Boswell's have quite a season. 24 for 25 with a 56-yard long. This is going to be from 49, not an easy kick. And he's wide left as well. So 2 early missed field goals. One from each side from 49 and 53. It's interesting to see, like, that ball looked like it was going to be good, and then even without any wind being in the dome, it still took off to the left. 24 and 26. Yeah, curse of the commentator, right? Don't know if Fat Guy's going to be back to join us. He's had some bad things happen on his computer, so he's going to try to fix it. The U.S. Bank Stadium's got a very interesting design with half the roof being what looks like glass. Oh man, that was almost a disaster of a play for the Vikings. That was some sort of weird receive, like was it tight end screen, but it looked like all the Steelers players knew the exact play they were going to run. Huge run from Dalvin Cook. I don't know what kind of defense they just caught the Steelers in, but easy, like probably 25-yard run. Nice for Fear and his fantasy team. So they were in man, and he just got beat in, I guess, two deep zone. What a strange play. Another huge gap here. Looks like this is Madison with a really nice stiff arm. Vikings up to 5.5-point favorites live. The OU's down to 40. Madison's a pretty nice complimentary back to have for Dalvin Cook. Already for Cook, 3 rushes, 54 yards. Just been gashing them on his 3 opportunities. But the blocking and the play calling has been very nice on those first 3 runs. Cousins with lots of time, and we have a touchdown to Justin Jefferson. Again, pretty much outside of that penalty, the Vikings have been very, very good on offense to start this game. That's a play where, like, that touchdown is on the offensive line. They're just terrific offensive line play, including the backs, Dalvin Cook as well, all picking up their blocks so Cousins can hold on to that ball long enough. And then essentially, oh my goodness, a mixed extra point. Holy smokes. 0 for 3 from these kickers early on. That's what, 7 points on the board just from missed kicks. Either way, Vikings still up 6-0, and they've looked really, really good on offense to start this, the first 12 minutes of this game. Yeah, I think you're right, Mickey. Like, it's been, it's a small sample, but the Vikings have just been doing essentially anything they want on offense. Funny enough, I had to restart the Zoom meeting because it said I was inactive for 40 minutes. But I'm back now. Hopefully that didn't screw up any of the... yeah, I think I'm still good here. I don't know if I mentioned, but Vikings minus 6.5 on the live line. 42.5 is the OU. Okay, cool. Twinny looks pretty upset. I don't know if that's the guy who was covering Jefferson on that play. Like, I really don't know what you're supposed to do as a corner because that's just, it's impossible to cover what he needed to do on that play. Especially if the quarterback's going to be able to put the ball like wherever he wants, and he's just going to put it on the side that's most advantageous for his receiver. And Cousins did that. He did it well. All right, Steelers have it on their own 25. Start with a receiver reverse here to Deontay Johnson. And they get another reverse here to Claypool. And it looked like he was down. But they're giving this ball to the Vikings. So sure looked like Claypool was down live, but we'll see. He's being wrapped up. Ball in his hands. He's reaching out. And the ball is swiped out by Harrison Smith. I think this is a fumble. And the Vikings clear recovery, it looks like. Yeah, he looks like he's still up. Yeah, Claypool headed to the doghouse. 2 bad plays early on for him. That penalty... The fumble's one thing, but that penalty is just inexcusable. Should have left Claypool in Pittsburgh, yeah. Ironically, to get back into this game, they're going to need big plays from Claypool, most likely. Seahawks fans saying Pittsburgh will still cover. Minnesota does stupid things to let games be close. It's possible. Like, don't the Vikings have like a ton of 10-point leads that they've lost this season? Well, Vikings are 5-7. Like, they've also just been bad defensively. I think there was some stat like they're like 0-7 trying to stop a game-winning drive. And if that's true in my head, that means there's a possibility that we're talking about the undefeated Vikings right now. But obviously getting stops on 7 game-winning drives is hard for any defense to do. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh man, maybe his shin was down first. Yeah, it looks like it's down. I don't know what they just called on the. Oh man, Steelers get to keep the ball. Huge break for the Steelers. It was really hard to see his shin on the first few replays they showed. Big tackle. Was that Patrick Peterson? No, Woods. I just saw the 23 and thought it might be Peterson, but it looks like Patrick Peterson's wearing 7. The tough part is they lost yards on this. Like, they're probably going to have to punt here just because of where they're at on the field. But we get to see one of the beautiful punts here from Presley Harvin III, who's had some monster punts this year. This one looks returnable, and man, the Vikings get to pick up a ton of yards, so not a strong special teams play. But still, that challenge did net Pittsburgh some yards. Oh, I didn't even realize that it was a missed block from Claypool on that play. You bet Raiders money line at plus 275. I think, did they play the Chiefs this week? Is that why there's such big dogs? And no, there's no betting an underdog money line just straight up there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you're probably going to be close to break even or slightly positive expected value, probably betting big underdogs in the NFL. The only thing is that the variance is high, right? Like, you're not going to win 50% of those bets. You're going to win, 1 in 3, 1 in 4. And that's kind of where those odds come into play. Betting a money line isn't that bad. If you're parlaying stuff or teasing stuff, like that's where it becomes dangerous. That's where bets become, I don't want to say stupid, but it's really hard to make money over the long term betting those things. Another big run here from Dalvin Cook, it looks like. Seahawks fan said, this feels like the week where the Chiefs shit the bed when everyone believes they're unstoppable, but I bet more money on Vegas plus 10. I got no issue with it. Like, the Chiefs are just a weird team right now because they've played really well defensively, and they haven't like Mahomes in the offense hasn't looked very impressive, at least from the eye test. And that could be. It's just not the same like dominance, right? It's like lately in the NFL, especially in regular season, it's like the high octane offenses are the teams that really, really consistently win and give people trouble. And the Chiefs, it's like you almost don't know what you're going to get from their offense, at least recently. It hasn't looked very strong. And Mickey says the opposite. He bet the Chiefs -9.5 when I felt it moving to 10. So, 10's probably the right number. I don't know. The Chiefs, to me, are just a weird team. Like, I'm talking about it like maybe they're underrated with how they've looked, because they haven't looked like, they definitely don't look like the best team in the league, even though they've played very well defensively. Ironically, it's like a team that the Fat Guy and I like more. Like, but they're playing like the difference between them and like I know Washington hasn't been good defensively, but like that's how I expect like Washington to play teams. How the Chiefs played on Sunday night or Monday night against Denver. I'll be back. I'm going to grab my pup and bring him in here and see how he does. I'll be shocked if the Chiefs win by more than 10 this weekend. If Raiders win, I'm buying Fat Guy a new computer. Well, I wouldn't be shocked, right? Like anything could happen. Either team could win by 40. If they play this a million times, half a million times, the Chiefs will probably win by 10 and vice versa. So I wouldn't say to be shocked. Like, you never want to get like you never want to feel too strongly on either side of a bet, because that's where you can end up betting too much money. Like, it's still a football game. Like, you don't know what kind of advantage the coaches have. You don't know like what if the Raiders roster is just like completely banged up, or what if they have like an illness running through the team. Like, you just don't know what kind of team is showing up. Like, that might be it for what the Steelers are tonight. Like, they might just be a tired, worn down team. Cousins stays in the pocket, almost fires the touchdown pass here under pressure. Mickey said, bad matchup for Vegas. Most teams adjust to a too high shell D to take away the plays over the top. The Raiders rarely deviate from cover 2. Yeah, and it's does that mean we're going to get to see the Chiefs of old? Man, that's the second ball. Well, technically that's the third ball Jefferson has hit his hands in the end zone. He's only been able to come up with the one touchdown catch, albeit both of those would have been amazing catches for touchdowns. And Greg Joseph is good on his 38-yard attempt, so Vikings up 9-0. I'll just be back in another minute just to grab, I just need to grab something. Pittsburgh money line odds. Let me take a look and see. Plus 344 on the money line. They were plus 8.5 as well on the spread. Right. Play action for the Steelers. Roethlisberger's going to take a sack here. He didn't like what he saw downfield. It's I try not to in-game bet. Like right now they're plus 456, so the odds are even better. Like it might be because they're second and 19 now. But definitely feels like there's nice opportunity to kind of middle plays. But live betting's really tough too because it can be very, very emotional. Third and 16 for the Steelers. And just no luck. They always talk about Washington being like the contested catch guy. So he tried to hit Washington on that man-to-man coverage, even though Patrick Peterson's in coverage there. They were also short of the sticks, so, but just not very many options on a play like 4th and 16. There's a flag on that play. Is that D.D. Westbrook returning punts? It feels weird because he had some success as like an actual receiver with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It just feels weird for him to be returning punts somewhere. Live line now, Steelers plus 11.5. Minus 106 at Pinnacle at the moment. Live OU 41.5. And Steelers money line plus 441. The other thing that's tough about like betting live is just the added juice that's added on to these markets. You know, it's better to get it before. Just essentially it makes it harder to win long term if you're betting live just because of that extra juice. But like Fat Guy says, it's always an argument that you could probably find more advantage in live betting. Like, who was it? I think it was Zapp's last stream pretty much said, like, there's no way that the live algorithm can take into consideration, like, the Patriots weather or the weather in Buffalo for the Patriots Buffalo game. Claypool didn't touch the field last drive. Yeah. He's definitely hurt them to start this game, but, you know, if the Steelers just want to blame what's gone on because of Claypool, that's not fair either. They haven't looked very good collectively as a whole team. One of the reporters, I forget the exact quote, but I think they asked him a question about, like, would you like to see your team have the same effort against the Vikings as you did against Baltimore last week? And Tom was like, yes. That's the stupidest question anyone's ever asked me. Like, what do you expect the coach to say? Like, that's just a dumb thing to ask. I find it weird that a new movie's coming out and they were just saying that it's only in theaters. Like, I guess with streaming now, is that the wording that they have to use? I also feel like it's kind of ballsy for a movie to just go, oh, we're just going to open up in theaters now. But I don't know the first thing about the economics between opening up a movie in theater versus not during these times. Live line up to Steelers plus 12.5, plus 488, and the live OU 42. I'm more interested to see if the Vikings just continue taking huge chunks out of the Steelers' defense, which they do here. Sutton on Jefferson is just such a tough matchup, but it's so tough to cover. Well, Sutton wasn't even on him. He broke off. Oh, man. What a smart play by Sutton. I don't know if that's like, it's meant to be like that. I don't know if it's like a zone type coverage, but he breaks off of that a little earlier. He might have had an interception. I love these, like, some of these running plays from the Vikings with Cook. Like, they always just seem so devastating. I guess Cook is just such a good downhill runner. Like, he picks up so much speed through the hole that these runs look like they make the team just look excellent. Fitzpatrick's super lucky to make that. Like, I don't want to say lucky, but if he doesn't make that tackle, it's probably a house call. All right, another run here, this time for Madison. He's going to pick up some nice yardage, but there is a flag on the play. Got a feeling this one's coming back. A lot of new films are dropping on HBO Max and theaters. See, that makes more sense to me. Like, I think you kind of want to have both options, but I don't. I don't know enough about it. Nice completion here to Ty Conklin. Almost, he might have. He almost picked up the first down on 1st and 20 after that. What I'm assuming was a holding call, guys. I didn't see it. Second and 1 here. Looks like a handoff to Cook, if I'm not mistaken. No Adam Thielen tonight either, with this line being 3.5. Everything just seems so lopsided, and the Vikings have just looked so dominant tonight. Like Dalvin Cook separated shoulder, Adam Thielen's out. The Vikings 10 first downs to 3 for the Steelers. And Dalvin Cook essentially walking into the end zone. Like Mickey said, if the Steelers don't get right, this is going to be a rout, and we're on pace for a rout. Live line Steelers minus 17.5. They're minus 14.38 on the live line. OU's now up to 46. I don't know what that corner was doing. Number 34 on the Steelers. I'm not familiar with who that is off the top of my head, but it looked like they were on outside containment. I don't know what they're doing. Running perpendicular to the center of the field. Cook is like almost jogged into the end zone. Like, I know he's going fast, but for what he could have done versus what he did there, that's yikes. I feel like we're like a touchdown drive away or some bad mistake from seeing Mason Rudolph finish this game for the Steelers. The Vikings are like, I know they've done a lot of dumb things this year, but really, they're like an interesting team. Like, if they're the 7th team that makes it into the playoffs, like, because they can put up so many points offensively, it's a tough team to play in the playoffs. I know defensively it hasn't been great, but at least offensively they've looked good, especially in this game. I know we had like a pretty heated discussion where people were really like hating on Kirk Cousins. He's looked really good in this game, and he's had statistically a very impressive season. It's funny because, like I talked about, what if their defense stops at least half of those drives? Like, let's say they're what are they? They're 5-7. Let's say they're 8-4 instead. Like, Cousins might be in the talk for MVP. Like, I know I'm probably taking it too far, but it just shows you how funny it could be. Like, a record can really change how you talk about a player and their MVP status. Did they call a penalty there on the Vikings player? Just realized this is the battle of the teams the Lions haven't lost to. Yeah. Primetime Cousins haters having a rough half. Yeah. He's played really well this half. He's looked really good. They roll out to Roethlisberger. They get Claypool completion for, looks like 4 yards. It looked like they're Roger Goodell handing out Super Bowl tickets, if I'm not mistaken. This Pittsburgh team just doesn't look like they want to be there tonight. Roethlisberger took a huge hit on this play on the blind side from Harrison Smith. The tackle had to make a decision, and he stayed on the end because you block inside to outside, and Smith's just the free man. Roethlisberger doesn't make that read, and he takes a big hit. Big Ben hurt. Like, he looked like it after that play. That's a good puppy. My dog is wondering where the barking's coming from. Yeah. I apologize, guys. Just can't seem to get him to settle. He wants to play. But it's all of a sudden become a pet-friendly or unfriendly stream, however you want to look at it. I think my wife just got home, so he won't be with me much longer. All right, I'll be back in just a moment. Fat guy gonna have to give me extra pay for going solo tonight. It is what it is. I think he's pretty distraught about his computer because he had to reset something went wrong with his hard drive. He had to reset Windows, and then he lost like all his programs and everything. And he's actually got like he's been doing a lot of work for BRFG, and he's got actually like quite a bit of important stuff. So I think he's kind of worried about that stuff. So I think he's doing his best to get it back up and running. It is what it is. I feel like I can be boring at times, but I don't know. It's tough. Like it's tough to fill dead air on your own for 3.5 hours. Like especially like commercial breaks. There's just not a lot to talk about sometimes. 16-0 here, and the Vikings are just still dicing the Steelers. This is such a tough game to play, like as a defense. Like when you just the support just doesn't feel like it's there, and you just got to fight every single down to try to make it happen. Second and 10 here for the Vikes. Just a misread between Cousins and the receiver. Thielen, is he out because of an injury? I just find it strange that he's wearing a mask on the sidelines. High ankle sprain for Thielen, so it's definitely like injury related. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Fat Guy's had a lot of Fat Guy's done a lot of bartending, and it's just tremendous experience to be able to talk about many different subjects or ask the right questions and be able to go and go and go. He's doing it less and less, but he had a lot of patrons that would come in almost religiously to hang out with them and chat about stuff. Vikings gone heavy on this next play. They only managed to pick up 2. Second and 8, and the Vikings almost get the first down there. And the heat is on, as Glenn Fry would say. The Leafs took a loss tonight. Yeah, they played Tampa. That'd be a fun game to watch. I know Jay was saying he was down on the Flyers. I saw they have a 10-game losing streak, which is like hard to do in the NHL. This game's just looked easy for Cook and Madison. Like the Vikings have just played so much better, and it really looks like an energy thing for the Steelers, and that line starts to make sense. And it's also interesting just to note that like so much money was put on the Vikings before this game. Like it just makes you think like who knows what when it comes to making these plays. Man, I think Tomlin has been really, really good. I don't see Tomlin being the issue, but maybe that's just me being naive. Yeah, looks like a horse collar. This drive becomes important, like very important for the Steelers, like if they have any chance of coming back, because they get the ball to start the second half, so at least they could, in theory, double up here to make it a 23-14 game instead of 23-0. Going into, after that first possession after the second half. I've got a Mediterranean bowl with falafel and chicken shawarma. It's all right. It's good. It doesn't feel like a lot of food, but I'm sure I'll be full once I finish. Well, most definitely. What are you? What snack you hoping for? You gotta have something lined up around the house. Harris is doing his best. There's just not a lot of room. Oh, pork roast and mashed potatoes. That sounds delicious. Oh, man. And like that, the play just wasn't blocked up well for Harris. And plus, it looks like Deontay Johnson takes a hold on the outside against Patrick Peterson. Man, Peterson shedded him like nothing. Like, I don't expect Deontay Johnson to be a good run blocker, but second and 17 here. Man, I'm talking about the Steelers trying to score on this drive. They better just get keep the clock moving on these next two plays and hope the Vikings don't use their timeouts. Claypool with the catch, but out of bounds. So clock stops, which is good for the Vikings. Hello, Don. How you doing tonight? Oh, pumpkin pie. That sounds delicious, too. I always like the Costco pumpkin pie. The only thing for my wife and I right now is if we do get a pumpkin pie from Costco, they're just so big. It's hard to finish one with just the two of us. Big sack here. I expect a timeout from the Vikings. It didn't look like they were taking one, at least at the start of that. Homemade, it's probably really, really good then if I had to guess. I didn't make a play, Don. I was... some of the market plays were saying to take the Steelers and the under, and I just never... I didn't make a play tonight. I know Fat Guy had a lot riding on the Vikings, so I'm sure he's very happy with how this game has gone so far. I can't remember who we took. I think in the contest we ended up taking the Steelers because of closing line value, so I think we're going to go 0-1 in the contest with how this has looked so far in this first half. So the Vikings did use a timeout. It's interesting because Fat Guy and I both like the Vikings just because it seemed like such a fishy line. But then we took the Steelers because we thought there'd be closing line value. And Even up to earlier today, Steelers were -3, but then it came back up to 3.5. Really, really nice tackle by Sutton, forcing him in bounds. We're going to take 20, 30 seconds off the clock for this next play. Sutton looks like he might have been hurt on that last play. I don't know. Oh, man, dangerous play here. I kind of expect a run from the Vikings on this last one, just to use the Steelers' last time out. Jalen Ramsey said that he would even study receivers coming out of the huddle, because some guys act differently if it's going to be a passing play or running play. And I was just watching Justin Jefferson get to the line because he looked kind of like it felt like they were giving up, and they did end up running the ball. It'd be interesting to just like watch each one of these guys to really understand, like, is it going to be a run? Is it going to be a pass? Because I'm sure there's a lot of players who give tells depending on what it's going to be. Live line 23.5. OU at 44. They actually don't have a live money line out there just because of it being so unlikely for the Steelers to come back. Deontay Johnson did everything he could to get out of bounds there. Just didn't work out. But that's, to me, that's one of the most underrated things, is just how defenses are able to tackle in these 2-minute drills by keeping the offensive players in bounds. Tomlin could not be happy with this, how his team's come out and played this game tonight. I don't know why the Vikings used a timeout here. Zimmer biting his nails, looking very nervous on the sidelines, despite being up 23 points. Did they call a timeout just to change their defense? It's like, it's almost silly when teams do this. Like, this is so unnecessary. There's no reason for them to play this type of defense right now. Because now you give up this yardage, and what if you take a take a penalty defensively and the clock can't run out? Or even worse, what if you give up the touchdown like Tyreek Hill had a few years back? I can't remember who they were playing, but I remember they went back to a prevent and they just dumped it off to Tyreek Hill and he ran in for the touchdown. Very impressive play from Tyreek Hill, but just like such an unnecessary lineup to line up defensively like that. I'd have to go back and look. I'm sure I'm wrong, but like the Vikings might have averaged 9 yards of play on offense, and I don't even know if the Steelers had a 9-yard play on offense. I'm sure they did, but that's just how lopsided that first half felt. So halftime, it's going to be 23.5 points spread between the Steelers and Vikings. OU 43.5. And between Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, there's some really, really nice young receivers. I hope they can like have long careers because they've both been so excellent to start their careers here in the NFL. I agree with Charles Woodson. Like, just the holes that the Vikings are able to run through. Like, Dalvin Cook is a very good player, even better player in space, and he's had nothing but space tonight. Jake Glazer has the gaudy look going on tonight. Lots of like watches and bracelets. Holding his phone in his hand while he talks. I think I might do that for the next pick video. Wear lots of jewelry and hold my phone in my hand the entire time. We get Saturday NFL next week. That's tremendous. I gotta check the schedule. I'm so dumb. I just went to put in schedule into Google. Like, it's gonna pop up the NFL schedule. Okay, what Saturday games do we have? Yes, we got 2 Saturday games. Raiders, Browns, Pats, Colts. So Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday games. And then we get it on Christmas as well. 2 Saturday games on Christmas. The Browns play 2 Saturdays in a row. Wow. That's interesting. Colts, Cardinals, Christmas at 5:15 Pacific. That's going to be quite the marquee matchup. Even Browns Packers is a pretty good game. And then what's the other Raiders Browns Patriots Colts? Like, wow, we get some really really good Saturday games. Even the Chiefs Chargers next Thursday is a nice matchup. Vikings Bears Week 15 Monday night. I'm not going to be that excited for that game. Niners Titans for the Thursday night on Week 16. I believe that's the last Week 16 game. Then we have Dolphins Saints Monday night on the 27th. And then the last primetime game is going to be the last Monday night game will be Browns Steelers Week 17. And then Week 18, I'm sure they'll flex one of the games to Sunday night. But getting 2 weeks, like it's a fat guy dream. We get the Browns and the Colts 2 Saturdays in a row. Yeah, Bears get a couple of primetime games in the next couple of weeks. It's just hasn't worked out for them this season. Nagy's got to be like really up there as far as coaches that are most likely going to be gone. It's funny, like a couple more wins or a couple more losses in the Viking, like even for Zimmer's so polarizing. Like the Vikings could still make the playoffs and make some noise, like, and they could also finish, in the bottom 10. Like it's so much parity this year. I love how it is. The Bears or the Vikings? I don't think the Vikings were probably on the fringe. I don't think the Bears were. The Bears were probably pretty I want to say dogs. I think Fat Guy and I did some sort of preview on this kind of stuff. I'm going to go back and see if I can find anything. Yeah, we did futures videos. So let me pull up the Bears. Welcome to the NFL. Here's the here, I'll just make it full screen. But on the video, Bears were 7.5 point win, or 7.5 wins. They had a 16% chance, according to odds makers, to win the division. Yeah. So it kind of gives you an idea. It is surprising. Like I guess it's just like how the schedule ended up working out, but I couldn't tell you why they're getting so much feature at the end of this season. It almost looked like he got grabbed by the face mask. Surprising. Yeah. I know one of those games is against the Packers, right? Is that this week? The Bears Packers? Is that like the Sunday or Monday night game? Yeah, Bears Packers is the Sunday night game, and then Vikings Bears is the Monday. I have no clue. I could not tell you why. It's like maybe we're just giving too much flack. Like pretty much every other game looks pretty good. Like maybe aside from like Dolphins Saints, but like Dolphins Saints might be a pretty like intriguing one as far as teams trying to get in the playoffs. And like maybe I'm being too tough on the Bears. I don't even know what the Bears record is. The Bears they're 4-8, so I don't know if they're technically out of it or it's going to be pretty hard even at 9-8, I'm sure, to make the playoffs. That's quite a few batted passes tonight by the Vikings. Roethlisberger only has 4 incompletions, and maybe 2 or 3 of those might be passes that were batted down. Eight completions for 68 yards. It's just been an anemic night for the Steelers offense. Really for the Steelers entire, maybe outside of the punter, no one else came to play tonight. Man, another one of these screens that just looks so dangerous. We have a flag on the play. Patrick Peterson looks pretty upset, so this might be against the Vikings. Offside. On DJ Wanham. Not a player that I'm familiar with. But he was the guy who had the tip ball on the nice tip ball in the last play on the second down. Live line Vikings -25, OU 43.5. And the guard jumps. So we're going to get 3rd and 7 for the Steelers. And it's like the last 2 plays didn't even happen. That's such a weird one for the guard to jump. Try Turner. Veteran Try Turner. Man, that was actually a really nifty play by the Steelers O-line there, trying to get it back. But I say that as they give up a sack. So they tried to use the same thing they just got a penalty on to get them to jump. Oh my God. Center and guard are just not on the same page tonight. And it was weird too because Harris completely vacated that zone. I don't know if that play was designed to go to him, but he didn't pick up the block either. Vikings are going to have pretty good field position here. A weird play to start the drive there. Getting the ball into Ty Conklin's hands after he looked like he motioned out wide. Talked about how well Kirk Cousins has played tonight. He's only 11 for 20, 125 yards and a touchdown. But they haven't really needed him with how well they've run the ball. And right on cue, they pick up about another 8. It looks like it's going to be 3rd and short. Unbelievable. 6 of their games have decided on the last play. First down Vikings, and they're just outside of the red zone. TJ Watt is out with a groin injury. It looks like they're kind of just putting up the white flag. I kind of talked about it earlier. Like I'm almost surprised if Roethlisberger finishes this game. what's going on that Steelers sideline, but they're all fixated on something. It was a weird play by Cook to just let that one go. Just crazy stats to see how much a difference TJ Watt makes. I know they're like handpicking like the four best ones on defense, but it still is quite interesting to see. And it looks like the Vikings are going to settle for a field goal attempt. Man, this second half of this game is just tough because, like, mathematically, the Steelers could still come back in this game. Like, there's enough time. They need touchdowns. They need, probably 2-point conversions, I guess. But with how they've played so far this game, it's just hard to believe that they could do this. Roethlisberger's hinted that this is going to be his last year. I wonder what the Steelers attempt to do next season for quarterback, because the rest of this roster is not that bad. I agree, Mud. Like, Pittsburgh's got to put up some points. I don't think the Vikings are going to finish at, 46 or whatever the I guess it closed at 45. $44.5. Nice. Well, 45. What's that? Minus 26. So it's 19 more points. Here's a nice run from Harris. Man, I was hoping for your sake, Breland would be able to break that one. Live OU is at 46, so odds makers still think that over 44.5 is going to hit. Live and the live line for this game, minus 30.5. And then the music is trolling, playing I'm Still Alive, which I guess Steelers, like I just said, technically they are, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of the most points scored by a team in a quarter this season, and for some reason I'm thinking like the Chargers might have had it. So Chargers-Browns, where they had such a high-scoring fourth quarter. It says the highest-scoring NFL quarter by a team was 41 points. An NFL record, 41 points. This was in 1950. That might be the night for Ben. Yeah, maybe. It just hasn't looked good. Tennessee and Pittsburgh next week. I wonder what the spread will be. Tennessee in Pittsburgh. Oof. For some reason, I'm thinking like, I don't even know. Maybe Tennessee -1, Steelers -1. Like I really don't know. I originally thought Steelers minus 2.5, but like they've looked particularly bad tonight. But like it's like Mud said, like what if the Titans lose to the Jags? I agree though. That seemed more like it was on Johnson than Ben. Couldn't find a second half bet. Scared of everything. Yeah, it's like it's so easy for me to even say this now, but like it just feels like the Vikings are going to continue to grow this. But like, when's enough, right? Like, are you going to take the Vikings minus 30.5? Like, probably not. Like, it starts becoming a little bit ridiculous. That just looked like really good defense. I kind of want to see this replay to see. To me, this is such a crazy penalty. Like, the guy's about to score a touchdown. You're just not allowed to hit him. I don't even know where else you're supposed to hit him. Fitzpatrick just, he hits him in the chest. That's so tough. That's so tough. Minnesota will be -7 in Chicago. I don't think it'll quite be 7, but I don't know, 5.5, 5. It's tough, right? Like you see Minnesota play so well tonight, and it feels like it affects lines. There's a lot of lines like this one tonight, this week. I guess the official pointed towards like here, and I guess he said he hit him in the collar. I don't know. Like maybe I'm just reading into it too much. I don't know what Fitzpatrick's supposed to do there. Like I don't know what he's supposed to do differently. Yeah, Mud, you agrees and saying that's a bogus call. Third and goal. This play has implications on the OU. Ref got the over, yeah. What's Minnesota's Super Bowl odds? Well, they usually don't have the odds up during games like this, but what I can do is pull up. I'll pull up 538. You know, they're not the most accurate, but they've got the Vikings winning the Super Bowl. Let me just add this in. According to this, the Vikings have about a 0.5% chance of making the playoffs. So without juice, 200 to 1. And then, like Mud said, with when you add in the juice and stuff, like books will probably charge you, or not charge you, but give you 150 to 1. The juice for betting Super Bowl is pretty crazy. What's going on, Don? can't remember the exact number. We did it on the we did futures videos on all the teams and talked about the different odds. It's like really is a pretty big sucker bet to take a Super Bowl future. In fact, and I've taken plenty of Super Bowl futures, so it just shows you how hard it can be to find that value. And then ironically, it's actually good to bet like undervalued one seeds, like a team like, you know, even like the Patriots. Yeah, and Steelers are 100 to 1, and with this loss, according to this, they have a less than 1%, less than 0.1% chance. So they really should be, you know, you could add on another 0 to that. But according to this, apparently the Cardinals have already made the playoffs. I'm very interested to see the Cards coaching staff if they decide to rest any players as the season ends. Lions are 1,000,000 to 1. I think the Lions are officially out. Yeah, the Lions are officially eliminated, so even at 1,000,000 to 1, it's not a good bet unless they start doing some retroactive grading of some of their games. You could still bet them though, yeah. I guess there's always some like. I guess there's always a chance, even though statistically they're out. Like I don't like. What would have to happen? Like teams would have to be. Like what would have to happen for an active team that is in the playoffs to be thrown out? Cardinals played well without Kyler. Yeah, that's probably why they're so high in the ELO ratings on 538. But I even think the people that make that site said, like, don't make Super Bowl plays off of stuff that they have. That's got to be at least the third batted down pass tonight for the Vikings. I'm trying to remember what the deepest target tonight has been for the Steelers. Like it's been every throw has been feels like under 5 yards. Nice tackle by Eric Kendricks. And Harris with probably the effort play of the night to get that first down. We get one here. Washington might be the beneficiary of tie goes to the guy with the ball. I find it interesting that they already marked it as a catch even though they haven't even looked down at who has the ball. It's really hard to see on the replay who actually had that ball. Same play they ran earlier for Roethlisberger on the run. Earlier it was to Claypool, this time to Ray McLeod. It actually did look like Washington had the ball kind of at his gut on that last replay. Oh my goodness, what a play by Roethlisberger. There's a flag down. It's probably going to be on the offensive line. With how the Steelers are playing right now, it's just so predictable on defense to be uptight and close coverage. That's what makes like that last play of the first half so laughable. Like, why would you have three guys like 50 yards off the ball? Like Roethlisberger's, we just saw he had one attempt that was like 25 yards earlier. My co-host had computer issues, so he's not going to be able to join tonight, Don. Anthony Barr, I think, telling him he's got to get off the field. I don't think he's mad so much that just telling him to sub. First down for Harris. You can hear the corner who made the tackle saying that they got to keep the edge. And it looks like we're getting hurry up from the Steelers. Lots of space between Washington and the corner down below. They go there. Second and 2. This might be one of those like flip tight end plays like they do with Kelsey. No, they go back to that rolling out play. Essentially Patrick Peterson saying, you got to catch that. I'm surprised Peterson didn't get his hand up, but I guess it's just because Deontay Johnson kept his hands down until really the last second. Third and 2 here. I could definitely see Roethlisberger running this one in. And they go to Harris. It's tough for Barr. I'd love to see, though, like the depth of target for Roethlisberger after this game, because pretty much everything's been within 10 yards. But that's a good play for the over. We're now at 35. If we makes this, we're at 36. Live OU 49, so on pace right now. Taylor Heineke's played so well. Like, it's sad that Fitzpatrick didn't get to play, but I think where Heineke's played is pretty much what you would have expected from Fitzpatrick anyways. Time for a Cousins pick six, yeah. I saw someone did a study, and it was on the amount of how many of your interceptions went for a pick six. Well, there you go. We get an interception right after Mickey said that. Yeah. Almost instantaneous. It looked like, did Bush get a hand on it? Yeah, he did. What a play by Bush. Harris looked pretty tired before he even took that hand off. And even like that cut just looked like fatigue. What a weird play. They've had that rollout, 3 times I can remember in this game, and it's almost like they faked it to try to catch the backside corner sleeping. Didn't work out, though. Dantzler got some pretty sweet cleats on. Oh, man. He is. They're still trying to figure out who's blocking who. On the defense? What? That's unreal. I'd have to see that again. You know what? Looking back, it was actually very close. That's going to be another tied catch. I think Harrison Smith might have hurt his hand on that play. He was holding it very strangely. Nice catch by Claypool. The nice part, if you have the over, is like it's pretty much touchdown or bust for the Steelers. Seahawks fan jumped on Pittsburgh plus 30.5, so he's hoping that they can hold up. It's looking really good because right now, live line 17.5. Zimmer may not survive a Vikings loss here. Yeah, if Pittsburgh came back, that would be an all-timer. Steelers got to score on these next two plays for that to even be a possibility. This play looks like it's going to Deontay Johnson. I don't think that would have been completed anyway. Deontay Johnson took such a weird cut, because he wanted to get into the end zone. It's tough as a defender, but sometimes you got to accept the loss and hope they just don't make that play. Harris is in. Well, you won money. I don't know if you won free money. There's still a risk on that. Vikings fumble coming next. Yeah. Well, it's been their knock all year, right? That's the concern with the Vikings is they haven't been able to play a full 60 minutes. Pittsburgh loses 29-27 and covers the 3.5. I'm definitely going 14-0 this week. Yeah. It would be a fortunate start. Did we see a onside attempt here from the Steelers? No, they kick it deep. Touchback. Balanced play calling for Minnesota. 25 pass attempts, 25 runs. We get a run blitz here. They managed to stop them, so it's going to be 3rd and 7. Cousins only 11 completions out of 25 attempts. So, Fitzpatrick made the same play there as he did earlier. They don't call it this time, which I don't think it should have been called either time. But nice job by Fitzpatrick, and that would have been such a tough catch for Jefferson to make. Almost blocked. That ball might have been out. That might have been an early whistle. Wow. James Washington touchdown. Now the big decision here, do they go for one? Do they go for two? They're going to go for two now. I kind of would have liked if they went for two earlier. On the last touchdown. And is that... that's the over, right? The over hit there? Because we're at what? 49 points? They're not going to get it, so all of a sudden winning this game becomes a lot tougher. Yeah, the over does cash, so congrats, Mud. That's one win for tonight. Or did you also have the Jefferson first touchdown? Did Jefferson score the first touchdown of the game? And then how many attempts is Cousins up to? 26. So that one might be a little close. And then how many yards does Jefferson have? 67. So nice. When Minnesota was up 26-0, Pittsburgh was 8-1 to win the game. Yeah. I could see that. Let's see what it's currently at. Even right now, they're plus 614. So it probably was even higher than 8-1 at one point. I need some help from Cousins and Jefferson. Yeah. Live line 7.5. Steelers plus 643 to come back and win, and the live OU is up to 59. Well, I talked about how like the depth of target has been pretty low for Roethlisberger, but not in the second half. I'm going to grab a drink. I'll just be back in a minute. I apparently missed a big touchdown, it sounds like. So this is off a play action. Man, I'm surprised he threw that considering looking at how the coverage was. I don't know. It looked like he kind of like stiff armed him down, but I'd have to see it from a different angle. Now the live line is 13. Steelers are plus 1900. Over under 64.5. This is what makes the NFL like betting over unders so crazy. Like, I feel like there's been so many points scored. There's already been 20 points scored in this quarter, and we're not even 4 minutes in. Or like we're just 4 minutes in. I just saw that Dalvin Cook has 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook has more yards rushing than Cousins has throwing, even after that touchdown. Dalvin Cook averaging almost 9 yards a carry. That's insane. I'd be quite surprised if the Steelers don't go for this. Doesn't get much worse. Have a good night, Mickey. Dalvin Cook, according to the stats down below there, has eclipsed 200 yards. Cousins able to pick up the first down with his legs. Looked like a flag came out at the bottom of the screen. Oh, maybe not. Just seeing things. I haven't heard that, Josh. I'll take a look. Nothing's popping up on Google that he's passed away. Oh my boy. What is he slowing down for? It's on Twitter from Myles Garrett. If he did, it's down now. He deleted it. If it was, unless I'm looking at the wrong account, Flash Garrett. Pro Football Focus saying it. Benjamin Albright retweeted it from a different Miles Garrett. This is Miles Garrett TV. It says, I just emailed Demarius Thomas, position coach, while he was at West Lawrence High School. He tells me the rumors are true that former Georgia Tech and Broncos receiver has passed away at the age of 33. Well, that's sad if that's true. Either way, we got a touchdown by the Steelers. Now a 10-point game, so Pittsburgh going to go for 2 here. Seems like they still don't really know what they're doing. They just get this playoff in time. And they get the 2-point completion. 8-point game with 4 minutes left. Steelers still have all 3 timeouts. This Vikings defense, like the fourth quarter Vikings defense, there's something going on with them. Steelers coming back in real good thing. You laid off the under. Yeah, no kidding. I didn't have like any strong feeling either way, and well, I guess maybe I had a stronger feeling towards the Vikings if I didn't pull the trigger on the Steelers or the under. But either way, it was strong enough just not to pull it either way. I know Fat Guy has like pretty much all his eggs in the Vikings basket tonight as far as people who reached out to him. Yikes. Udo just kind of lost his balance and he had to take the hold. What's with Mike Zimmer's body language, though? The guy's just, like, wincing, it looks like, at every moment. Like, nice completion to Jefferson. It almost looked like Jefferson only had one glove on. No. Oh, maybe it fell off? I don't know what happened there, but he's got gloves on in the huddle. I could have just seen it wrong. What a catch by Cook. Even through heavy contact there. They're just a few seconds shy of being able to take it to the 2-minute warning. I'm guessing Clint Kubiak is Gary Kubiak's son, if I had to guess. I know I'm not exactly going out on the limb. I'm guessing Steelers use their second timeout. Yeah, they do. A first down here ends the game. Corner blitz. I think they are going to cancel out of it. Steelers get the stop, barring any flags. But there is a flag on this play. It can't be on Fitzpatrick. I was just going to say. There's no way that's on Fitzpatrick. So the Steelers have a chance. Not a good chance, apparently. You can still bet them at plus 17, 18. Down to plus 852. I didn't even realize Claypool caught that ball. What an impressive play. Holy smokes. Just so unnecessary. I can't think of very many times where guys throw their hands up in the air like they didn't do anything, where they actually didn't do anything. Well, they gotta hurry up. Man, Claypool just gets way too distracted. Like, he's not completely into the game. Fourth down here. They kind of got to make sure they get a good play off. I think they're going to run this. No, they get it to Claypool. Claypool is celebrating instead of getting the ball. Oh my goodness. What a disaster for Chase Claypool. Are you serious? Claypool's got to, like, really cool it. Like, what the hell are you doing out there? McLeod's got to get out of bounds here. And he does. 16 seconds left. Where are they on the field? Like at the 25? You're kind of reaching the point where the ball needs to be in the end zone or out the back of the end zone. I think Claypool's off the field. Well, it's like they've always said with they're going to go to probably Claypool's side, but look at how much they're shadowing over there. Oh, man, this is just not a good... Man, 2 seconds left. This comes down to this last play. Oh. Man. That was so close to being a completion. What a game. Wow, way more stressful than it needed to be. No kidding. Considering they were up, what was it, 29-0 at one point? Just a wild game, wild finish. But thanks, guys, for joining me and watching this game. Hopefully you guys had fun and enjoyed it. That game was just quite a wild finish. Zimmer and the Vikings managed to pull it off despite everything that happened. Hell yeah, Mud. I appreciate you guys for joining, and I'm going to hop off. You guys have a good night.